Still owns
You know who's a
something.
good writer? Amy Henniger. And that's her name. She does the Uncharted. She did the Uncharted.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those games did have good writing. Yeah.
She did also Star Wars.
She was
She
fucking
does
fantastic with her writing. She also was involved in that project that unfortunately never saw the light of day. That
yeah, the
wasn't
Star
it,
Wars. That's regular people. They're not Jedi.
wasn't it like Floor 66 or something, or like Floor 444 or something? It's some place where in the lore it's meant to be like full of criminals and such down on deep in Coruscant. If I remember.
You know what? This reminds me of like the Star Wars, but it's just like regular people doing regular things. That reminds me, I got to like watch this show Star Wars Rebels that a friend of mine recommended. But basically, it's kind of like the crew that made the Clone Wars TV show, the CG animated one.
Better respect the Clone Wars.
The Star Wars Rebels with the show that they made after Clone Wars. So it's just
Ooh,
like
Dave Filoni.
Maybe I don't know
He's the creator.
Well, the 3D animated Clone Wars, not the 2D animated Clone Wars. Even though 2D animated Clone Wars was pretty good too.
It was.
2D animated Clone Wars series was like really good actually. Honestly, better than prequels because that's a low bar. But like, no, there were good like action, good like drama in there. It was the guy who made Samurai Jack that made the 2D.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be hearing that.
Oh,
yeah.
you mean Tarkovsky? Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny
Whatever the fuck
Tarkovsky.
his name is. I forget his name. Got a weird
It's
name.
Joe Jack. Oh, watch out. Oh,
He's got an exotic name. That's what I call it. Exotic.
Watch out.
But like, the person you're talking about probably did the 3D animated one, which like I gotta go back and watch all of it again because like what I've seen of the 3D animated one, it's good. I mean, like redeeming Anakin Skywalker, even redeeming Jar Jar from what I heard, is just like, wow. When you have good writing, you care about the characters you're writing for, you can actually get people to care about the character.
Magic that.
Yes.
See, David Cage? That's what writing is called. Not
I
what.
like his Heavy Rain game.
Oh, I didn't, because when I originally heard about it, I was told that it was gonna have like multiple endings where the killer was different every time, but it wasn't.
Well, that's based on your choice. The choices you make.
No, it's always the same person who the killer is.
It's kind of like David Cage calls like a Peter Molyneux. Oh, that's another one.
Oh, that's another one, yeah.
That's
Peter fucking Molyneux, who overpromises everything and always says like the next game is gonna have everything. You could do anything in this game.
Hold on.
Anything.
Yes, that is correct, but at least he delivered more than freaking No Man's Sky.
Well, anyone could fucking deliver more than No Man's Sky, alright? I haven't even published shit and I've delivered more than No Man's Sky.
I still need to play No Man's Sky for itself because I've heard
It's gotten good now from what I've heard, yeah.
Of course, they recovered.
But even at the time that it was released, it's like, well, yes, there were certainly like a lot of like vague promises and that like, it was made, and people interpreted what those vague promises were, and like, yeah, it's like some people were disappointed because like No Man's Sky was not what they were expecting, but some people kind of like thinking, but No Man's Sky is unique in its own brilliance as were. It's kind of like more of an artistic like sort of thing and expression. So it's like if you're expecting something else, then No Man's Sky is a compelling experience to work. Not for everyone. It's not for everyone, for sure, because it's like, it's really a boring kind of like thing at work, but it's that sense of like loneliness out in the middle of nowhere and stuff like that. Dan Olsen has talked about that, and they mentioned some important ideas like fog, essentially like that, because he was like driving from back to Calgary from Seattle is because he came to PAX Prime. I actually met him at PAX Prime once. He was a cool dude. Yeah, but then is that long, boring, really kind of drive, but like the sense of like there's a lot of things out there and a lot of emptiness out there as well. You're all alone to that sort of thing. That's the kind of sense that No Man's Sky captures in its gameplay. Even at launch doesn't work. But
Did you see?
that
But
is a
I
boring game
do
experience for
admit,
some, and
I genuinely get that with Satisfactory, whose
Did you
developers
see,
have
Starfield?
been fucking awesome. I want to tell you.
Did you see Starfield?
I have not seen Starfield.
No, I
Oh,
don't really
looks
give a
like
shit.
No Man's Sky. It's like No Man's Sky.
Okay.
But the problem is, it's powered by Bethesda's fucking shitty engine that they're not gonna change because
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
that would
that's
require
the
too
shitty
much
engine most
thinking.
That's the engine people love in Skyrim, though. That's the one
Apparently.
they love.
They love how often their game crashes. They love how like it's repeatedly doing the cycle of like
Yep.
hammering at this like iron ore.
Yeah, that's a bug that's so ancient. Other people have solved that years ago, and yet when they released it again on Switch, it still wasn't fixed. It's like, the fuck you been doing? Just sitting on this game? And I think the
Yeah.
answer is yes. They've just been sitting on this game and doing nothing else.
This is the same Bethesda with like taking free mods and ones of like at one time at least like sold it as like official mod, but like for a price. You're selling mods that others made
Yep.
for free and made.
It's
available
not
for
paid
free.
mods, but it's mods that you pay for.
I think they did stop doing that because they rightfully got criticized for that. And then there was also the whole debacle of the launch of Fallout 76 too.
God, that was a piece of shit. That was.
Yeah, and yeah, Fallout 3, the most everyone's favorite game that crashes the most.
Yep.
Fallout New Vegas has the same problems of like glitchy issues as were and all that stuff.
New Vegas, I can understand though, because they weren't actually given the fucking time to
Yes.
do it. So it's not like it's a shit production. It's like, no, here you go. Here's an engine that you have no experience with, but you're gonna make the game from this.
And to make people's credits, like Obsidian Entertainment, like it made a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, they still made something different, and much like the earlier Fallout games, you can actually side with multiple different people. You're not just kind of stuck with one or two groups, you know? I fucked this.
But yeah, that reminds me. It's like watching you play Arena TJ, it's just like if I would play a game like this, it was before the history aspect of it, as it were.
That's
I don't
kind
think
of-
I would-
Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah,
what
I
I
don't
like
think
to
I
do,
would
yeah.
I don't think I would enjoy myself playing that kind of game because like I tried playing like the first System Shock 2, but the classic version of it, and I'm just like, how the fuck do I control? I control.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll try System Shock again, but the enhanced version of it, and then go to System Shock, or maybe skip to System Shock 2, which is classic everyone talks about.
But no, I totally get what you mean though. I mean, it's a problem with a lot of DOS games, to be honest. Where if you compare it to nowadays, it's like, how the hell did people even? Why was this not a thing? You know.
What? Installing your game?
No. Read the instruction manual of the entire thing, all 60
Yep.
pages of it, and
Yep, yep.
and the game not holding your hand of like what to do, what, expecting you to know what to do those things.
Yeah.
I think because at the time we can only get like the $160 game
Yeah.
every birthday and Christmas, so there's only 2 games to get you a year. So it's like it doesn't matter what the fucking game it was, you're playing that game until completion, as it were, or
Yeah.
until you can probably beat it, as it were. That was my case for Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout. A not great NES platformer. That was hard, very hard in places too, but I managed to beat that one.
Anyways, that's because they had they couldn't fit a tutorial in the game.
A
Because
lot of, yeah, that is a lot of the times. Plus, I think over the years, people learned that, you know, it's more intuitive to have the tutorial inside the game. In some cases, obviously. At the very beginning, it was obviously you couldn't fit on there. Like some of the really early stuff on the real floppy disks, you know, the ones that actually flopped. Those games, for example, you couldn't actually fit the story on there. So when, like, in an RPG or something, if something happened, it would just say, read this book, page this. And then you basically use the book to read and find out what happened in the storyline. Because you couldn't fit all of that in there. Literally. But I think later on, when they could fit in story and such, they did kind of learn that, oh wait a minute, it's far more intuitive to have the tutorial in the game, so people actually, you know, get practice for what it's like to use controls.